Okay, let's do a short video here to the couple examples. This is the one I skipped in class. It says your friend is painting the inside walls of a garage. So far, she has used 2 gallons of paint and covered an area of 9 square meters. She needs some more paint. How much more would you advise her to purchase if she needs to paint all the walls and ceiling, which is a total area of 75 square meters? So this is just a ratio between the gallons of paint and area. So if you put a ratio called something like gallons um, over area, the ratio is she used 2 gallons, right, for 9 square meters. I don't need to put the units, this 2 to 9, so 2 gallons for every 9 meters of painting. Now she needs to purchase more paint, so the unknown is the gallons of paint. So the equation I need to write up something is like 2 over 9 is the same, or is equivalent fraction as how much paint she needs to purchase, sorry. That's the x quantity divided by the area, which is 75, right? The area is in the bottom, so that's why it goes in the bottom here. So the ratio is gallons in the numerator, area in the bottom. So there you go. So it's very simple. I need to multiply by 75 to solve this equation for x. So 2 times 75 divided by 9, that's what x is, because what I'm doing, in case you don't see that, I'm multiplying both sides of this equation by 75. And this will become a 1, right, that we talked in class. And then this appears, and then on the left side, I get 150 divided by 9. So I can do that in my calculator. Clear this up. So I have 2 times 75 divided by 9. So 16.67. So you probably need to buy 17 gallons, right? Because you cannot go and buy fractions maybe. So I need 16.67 gallons of paint. Okay, so that's the first problem. I skip a little bit on class. Then we went and we did these problems of speed. This one I skipped when I was looking at this later. I skipped this question. This question says write in kilometers per hour. Part 3 says what's the average, which one was faster. And for that one, I can now know that the faster is this one because I have it in miles per hour. But to answer this one in kilometers per hour, I don't have to do this last conversion, right? So this last conversion I did here is what converts the kilometers to miles. But if I stop doing this operation, that would have the units would be kilometers per hour, right? So I did like 2 steps, so I went all the way to the end. So I hope you see that. Okay, let me do a couple examples that were missing in this lessons. So this one says, a cheetah is the fastest land animal over short distances. It can run 400 meters in 15 seconds. What would be its speed in meters per second and in kilometers per hour? So in meters per second, it's already given kind of like that, right? It's 400 meters in 15 seconds. So all I had to do is write 400, oops, sorry, I don't want that. I want 400 meters over, I'm going to write like this for meters. M is meters, yeah, over 15 seconds. So I'm going to keep it like that for seconds. So I just have to find that fraction. So if you want to do 400 divided by 15, it's 26.67. So I'm going to round to 2 decimals, 20.267 meters per second. So that's the answer for the first question. Okay. Here's dividing 415. You find how many meters it traveled per second. Now, second question says, what would be its speed in meters per second and in kilometers per hour? So now, in kilometers per hour, I know it's 26.67 meters per second. I want it in kilometers per hour. So I'm going to convert the meters to kilometers. So I want to have a kilometers in the numerator and meters in the denominator so that they cancel. And this is, like I said, I hope you know that 1,000 kilo just means 1,000. So 1 kilometer means 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Right. So this is the unit I'm going to use here, or sometimes we call this like conversion factor, but it's very simple, right? 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So if I do this, I'll be canceling the meters, so the meters disappear, and the kilometers will survive in the numerator. Now I want to convert the seconds to hours, and we did that before, and multiply by 60 twice to convert to minutes, and then 60 minutes is 1 hour. So in one step, if you don't see that, let me do it to 2 steps. So in 2 steps, I would do, I want to get rid of the seconds, so let me change color here. If I change it for seconds, I would do seconds in the top and minutes in the bottom. So 60 seconds is 1 minute. That will get rid of the seconds, and my units are minutes. But I still want to keep going because I want to do it 2 hours. So then I do another factor where I do, I want minutes in the top and I want hours in the bottom. So 60 minutes is 1 hour. That's how you get, by multiplying these 2 terms. That's why I was saying it's multiplied by 3,600, right? So in one step, you can say that 3,600 seconds are in 1 hour. But if you don't see that, you can do it in 2 steps. This second step will cancel the minutes. Or sorry, that will disappear, not cancel them, and the units that survive in the numerator are the kilometers, and the units that survive in the, because the meters also disappear, units that survive in the denominator are hours, right? So whatever I get, now I have to multiply across all numbers in the numerator are, let me make this bigger, like that, there you go. So I want to do 26.67 times 60 times 60, and then divide that by, and again, if you want to write it in 1, if you're worried that it's not a numerator, you can put a parenthesis here, and then it will have it all, right? And then you can have it like that. It doesn't really matter, because when you multiply fractions, if it's in a numerator, it doesn't matter. So maybe, perhaps, to not be confused, type it, learn to type it so as you see it in paper, and that way there would be no mistakes. So in denominator, I'm only multiplying by 1,000, right? Divided by 1,000. So it's 96.12 kilometers per hour. So the answer is 96.01 kilometers per hour. Now, if you want to know how much it is in miles per hour, it's pretty fast, right? Like, it's almost, I think it's around 60. You divide 96 by 1.609. Let me just do it. So the Cheetah goes approximately at 60 miles per hour. Okay, last question. The slowest land animal is a sloth, a 3-toed sloth from tropical America. It takes 16 hours to travel miles. This is the opposite, very, very slow. What is the speed in kilometers per hour and in meters per second? So now they give us the time in 1 mile in 16 hours. So this distance, the way it's given, is I want miles per hour, so I want miles in the top. So 1 mile, it takes 16 hours, right? So you don't need to know what is this as a fraction, but if you want to, you can do it, right? 1 divided by 16 is 0.0625 miles per hour. So this is 0.0625 miles per hour. The question is, what is the speed in kilometers per hour and meters per second? So in kilometers per hour, I have 0.0625 miles per hour. I want to convert it to kilometers per hour. So all I need to do is convert the miles to kilometers. So remember, it's 1.609 kilometers is 1 mile. So I want to get rid of the miles. So I want the miles in the bottom, and I want kilometers in the top. And I said it was 1.609 kilometers is 1 mile. And I just need to do that because the miles disappear, and I'll have my answer in kilometers per hour. So just multiply 0.0625 times 1.609. So it's 0.100. So it's 0.105. So I'm going to leave it like that, or 101 if you want to round it up. Because these are units that kind of make sense, right? It's 101 meters. If it's 0.100 or 0.101 kilometers, that means it's 101 meters. It's kilometers per hour. But the second question asks, so this is in kilometers per hour. Now the second question says, is the speed in meters per second? So I know it's 100 meters per hour, right? But I want to know that in meters per second. So now I want to do, it's a 0.101 kilometers per hour. I want to convert the kilometers to meters, so I want to get rid of the kilometers. So I want to put kilometers in the bottom. 1 kilometer, it's 1,000 meters. And now I want to convert the hours to seconds. And I'm going to do that, like I said before, in one step, because I can say that I want to get rid of the hours. So it goes on the top and put 3,600 seconds in the bottom. So that way the hours disappear, the kilometers disappear, and what survives are meters over second, like I was asked to find. So the operation I'm doing is, let me now write a parenthesis so you can put everything in the numerator. So put a parenthesis first, and I put the 0.101, then times 1,000, and then times a 1, I need to put that one. Then close the parentheses and do a division. And then I'm doing just divided by 3,600, correct? There you go. So 0.028. And these units are meters per second. So the cool thing of this is I can move it and write the units are meters per second. Okay, so this is how you convert back and forth between different units. Hope that was helpful.